Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 2 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 2 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter counting and number patterns. The lessons we're going to cover today are skip counting, skip counting sequences, counting patterns up to 100 and number lines. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So here I am on grade 2 math. Chapter we are on right now is counting and number patterns. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is counting. How many ice skates are there? So let's just count them. We need to skip by twos. So that is 2, 4, 6. You don't have to say all the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you skip them by 1. So that is 2, 4, and 6. So the answer is 6. Let's just start with the test questions. How many ice skates are there? Count by twos. So that is 2, 4, and 6. The correct option is 6. Option number 2 is the correct option. How many cows are there? We need to skip count by 5. So 5, 10. We have 10 cows. The correct option is 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Count by fives. We need to count by 5. So that is 5, that is 5, 10, 15, 20 and 25. So when you count, skip count by 5, that is 25. Option number 2 is the correct option. We have 25 tomatoes. Okay, so we need to skip count by 2s. So which is the correct option? That is 2, 4, 6, and 8. The correct option is 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. Count by 2s. 2 and 4. The correct option is 4. Option number 3 is the correct option. There are 4 ping pong paddles. How many chocolates are there? So there are 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. There are 50, 50. Number 2 is the correct option. The correct option is 50. How many planes are there? You have to count by tens. That is 10, 21. One of the image is not loading. So that is 10, 20, and 30. The correct option is 30. How many eggs are there? Count fives. Count by fives. So 5, 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. They are 10 in number. So the correct option is 10. How many icons are there? So with the correct option, we need to count by tens. They are 10, 20, 30, and 40. The correct option is 40. Option number 1 is the correct option. How many flamingos are there? We need to count them by twos. So which is the correct option? It will be 2, 4, and 6. The correct option is 6. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is skip counting sequences. Let's just start with the next lesson. Type the missing number in the sequence. So we need to ones. So 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we have to look at the pattern. We need to see how the pattern is increasing. The pattern is increasing by 10. 20 plus 10 is 30. 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 plus 10 is 50. And 50 plus 10 is 60. So 60 plus 10 is 70. So the next number in the sequence is 70. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Basically, we need to find how the pattern is growing and then we have to find the next number in the pattern, right? Type the missing number in the sequence. That's the one we just did on the tutorial, isn't it? So 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So the next one in the sequence is yes, 70. It is option number one is the correct option. Okay, so we need to find the first number. 30, 40, 50, 60. So 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 plus 10 is 50 and 50 plus 10 is 60. But we need to find the number that is before 30. So you need to subtract 10. So 30 minus 10 is 20. 28 is option number one is the correct option. Okay, the next one is type the missing number in the sequence. 42 plus 2 is 44. That is basically the skip counting by twos, right? 42 plus 44 plus 2 is 46. and 46 plus 2 is 48. So for the next one, you need to add another 2. 48 plus 2 is 50. The next number in the sequence is 50. That is 50. Option number 2 is the correct option. Type the missing number in the sequence. 22, 24, 26, 28. So the next one would be 30. Option number 2 is the correct option. Type the missing number in the sequence. 40, 50, 60. Option number 3 is the correct option. 60. Type the missing number in the sequence. No one is copying you. Actually, the answers are same. Like you both are answering for the same question. 24, 26, 28, 30. So the missing number is very good. 32. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. You both are answering for the same question, right? So the answer is same. That Okay, the next lesson is counting patterns up to 100. So let's just start with the lesson. Okay, count forward by 5 from 45. So starting by 45, we need to count forward by 5, right? So 45 plus 5, you can keep adding by 5. So 45 plus 5 is 50. Then 50 plus 5 is 55. Then 50 plus 55 plus 5 is 60. Let's just start with the test questions. Count forward by 5 from 45. That would be 45 plus 5 is 50, 55, and 60. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 50, 55, and 60. Option number 1 is the correct option. Count forward by tens from 60. That would be starting from 60. It would be 60, 70, 80, and 90. You have to keep adding by 10. So that would be option number 70, 80, and 90. Option number 1 is the correct option. Count forward by threes from 57. That is 57 plus 3 is 60. 60 plus 3 is 63. 63 plus 3 is 66. And 66 plus 3 is 69. That is 60, 63, 66, and 69. Option number 1 is the correct option. 60, 63, 66, and 69. Count forward by 5 starting from 40. So start with 40 and count up to 5. So it would be 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and 65. So option number 1 is the correct option. Count forward by 3 starting from 72. So which is the correct option? That is 73 plus 3 is 75, 78, 81, 84, and 87. Option number 3 is the correct option. Count forward by 4s. It would be 68, 72, 76, and 88 is okay. You can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is can you guys please stop chatting? You guys are here to learn. Why don't you focus on the learning? That is number line. Basically, we have a line where you are representing the numbers, right? So, which number comes just after 48? Let's just start with the test question. Which number comes just after 48? So after 48, here it is 48. Right after 48, that is 49. Option number 3 is the correct option. Select the missing number. So the missing number is 27, 28. The next one is 29. Option number 1 is the correct option. What numbers just come before 33? Before 33, it is 32. Option number 1 is the correct option. Select the missing number. The missing number is 28. Option number 2 is the correct option. Select the number that comes between 27, 35 and 37. So which number is between 35 and 37? Between 35 and 37, it is 36. Option number 2 is the correct option. Select the number that comes just after 14. 15 it is, just after 14 it is 15. Select the missing day, which is the correct option. That is 60. Option number 1 is the correct option. Select the missing number is 40. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 2 math. Chapter we are working on is skip counting sequences, counting patterns up to 100, and number lines. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions. So any questions you can please ask if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.